Hey friends, and welcome to this new video. Today we're talking about something interesting about Poppy Playtime series. Some new official images of the merchandising have been released, and I wanted to show them to you because there are a lot of new things to check out. As you know, Chapter 5 will arrive on February 18, and together with the new chapter, the new merchandising will arrive as well. So get ready to see t-shirts, plushies, and other gadgets dedicated to the new characters that will enter the story. It's always exciting to see how the game's characters come to life outside the screen. And I have to say that these official previews really give us an idea of what's coming. During the video, I'll show you all the images, we'll analyze the details together, and we'll talk about which items might be the most interesting to collect. There will definitely be direct references to the game and also some small connections to the ARG that the developers are building. Before we start, remember to leave a like on the video if you're curious to see all this merchandising, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates about Chapter 5 and Poppy Playtime in general. Alright, I'd say we can start taking a closer look at all these new things now. Let's start right away with the analysis of the new merchandising. I'm putting on screen the first product from the new Poppy Playtime merchandising. What you're seeing are the new official figural bag clips. From this first image alone, one thing becomes very clear. The focus is on Chapter 4, but with a very direct look toward Chapter 5 as well. In fact, we can see that several Chapter 4 characters have been added. For example, we have Dowie the Dobeman, Pianosaurus, the Nightmare Critters, and Yarnaby. These are all characters we encountered during the latest chapter, and that quickly became recognizable for anyone who played the game. Among these bag clips, we can also find the withered versions of Huggy Wuggy and Kissy Missy. And this detail is definitely not random. In Chapter 4, these characters appeared exactly in this damaged, more unsettling version, different from the classic one we were used to. Huggy Wuggy, in particular, appears at the end of Chapter 4 when we enter the secret laboratory. It's a very important scene because it marks his return to the story at a key moment. And we already know that Huggy Wuggy will also be present in Chapter 5. Because of this, many theories have started to appear recently. Some people think that Chapter 5 might begin directly with Huggy Wuggy chasing us, continuing exactly from where the previous chapter ended. If this theory turns out to be true, then the presence of the withered Huggy Wuggy bag clip would make even more sense. So we can safely consider this product not only as merchandising related to Chapter 4, but also as something that anticipates and connects to Chapter 5. It's almost as if this first set of bag clips acts as a bridge between the two chapters, both in terms of story and characters. Now let's look at some other new official merchandising products. This time, the new products didn't appear on the main store, but directly on the Epic Drops website. Epic Drops is one of the official partners that produce and sell official Poppy Playtime merchandise, so we're still talking about licensed and official products. On their website, two new plushies have appeared, and we're talking about Simon Smoke and Alistair Gator plushies. These two characters are not completely new when it comes to merchandising, because their plushies were already available on the official Poppy Playtime store. However, those were made by Culturefly, while these new ones we're seeing now are made by Epic Drops. This difference is very important, because you can notice it immediately even just by looking at them. The design is different, the style changes, and even the size of the plushies is not the same. This happens exactly because they are made by different companies, each one with its own way of interpreting the characters and its own production method. So even if the characters are the same, the final result is completely different. Simon Smoke and Alistair Gator are members of the Nightmare Critters, which is a family of characters introduced in Chapter 4. They are characters that had a specific role inside the game and became instantly recognizable, to the point of receiving multiple official merchandise versions. That being said, there's something interesting to point out. If in Chapter 4 we got the Nightmare Critters as a new mascot family, it's very likely that in Chapter 5 we will see a new family of characters. And just like it happened before, new mascots also mean new merchandise. So these plushies could represent the last big set connected to Chapter 4 before the focus completely shifts to Chapter 5, and in the next few months, we could see completely new characters, with new designs and of course new dedicated products. Overall, once again, the merchandise is giving us some interesting hints about how Poppy Playtime might evolve, not only as a game, but also as a narrative and commercial universe. Now let's talk about the Chapter 5 merchandising. At the moment, only two Chapter 5 products have been officially presented, and they are 2 t-shirts made in collaboration with the YouTube channel The Game Theorist. One t-shirt was related to Lily Lovebraids, and the other one was related to the prototype. However, both t-shirts were limited edition. It is almost certain that more merchandising dedicated to Chapter 5 will arrive, especially products related to the new characters. The problem right now is that these new characters have only been partially revealed. We have not seen their full faces or their complete designs yet. And this is one of the main reasons why, at the moment, we do not have plushies or gadgets dedicated to the Chapter 5 characters. So far, the only face we have clearly seen belongs to a character that appears as a plush in the thumbnail of the cinematic trailer dedicated to the prototype. This is an interesting detail, because it suggests that this character could have an important role in Chapter 5. But for the other characters, without seeing the full body and the final design, it is difficult to imagine an official plush or physical product based on that character. Everything will most likely change with the final trailer. If the full body of one of the main characters is shown in that trailer, then it is very likely that a plush dedicated to that character will also be released shortly after. This is something we have already seen happen in previous Poppy Playtime chapters. Let's also remember that the game will be released on February 18, so the final trailer should arrive in the first half of February. And because of this, the new merchandising dedicated exclusively to Chapter 5 could be presented right during that period. So for now, the Chapter 5 merchandising is still very limited, but all the signs suggest that it is only a matter of time before we see new plushies, new t-shirts, and maybe even some extra surprises. One of the new families that could receive dedicated merchandising is the Wrong Side Outimals. If we look at what happened in the previous chapters, the pattern is very clear. In Chapter 3, the smiling critters were introduced, while in Chapter 4 we met the nightmare critters. In both cases, right after their introduction in the game, a dedicated merchandising line arrived, especially with plushies and recognizable gadgets. Following this same logic, in Chapter 5, according to several theories and different hints, a new family of characters could be introduced, called the Wrong Side Outimals. If this family really appears in the game, it is almost certain that it will be accompanied by a new merchandising line, exactly like what happened with the previous families. The name Wrong Side Outimals did not appear randomly. It recently appeared in one of the latest ARG documents, and this is a very important detail. Every time a new name or concept shows up in the ARG documents, it usually means that something is about to be revealed soon, or that this content will have a concrete role in the story. For this reason, it is not unlikely that the official reveal of the Wrong Side Outimals could happen very soon, maybe in one of the next trailers or promotional materials related to Chapter 5. And if they are shown even partially, that could already be enough to start the production of the first merchandising products dedicated to them. So it is possible that we are looking at the next big family of Poppy Playtime mascots, ready to take the place of the smiling critters and nightmare critters, both inside the game and on the official store shelves. Thank you so much for watching this video. We will see you in the next video. Bye bye.